So this video is about My Little Pony and its fandom. Now, some of you may already know a little bit about this, but for those of you who are hearing about it for the first time, let me explain. My Little Pony is a franchise owned by Hasbro, and it launched in the early 1980s when big hair and mullets were cool. It was marketed towards little girls who had an interest in the equine and fantasized about owning a pony. In order to advertise these toys, Hasbro created animated specials, TV shows, and movies. But like an unwanted visitor, they weren't well received. People saw them as cash grabs, just another way for Hasbro to make more money. Despite the negative reviews, Hasbro never gave up. And over the years, they would reintroduce the show, movies, and toys to the public over and over again. Cut to 2008. My Little Pony, still struggling with its image, hires show creator Lauren Faust to reimagine the franchise. She and the team focuses on better animation, better storyline, relatable characters, and co-watching. She wanted a show that parents would want to watch with their kids, a show that would appeal to a broader audience.
That even if our target demographic is girls 6 to 11, boys 6 to 11, we want it to be all ages. We want parents to sit down with them and not want to shoot themselves in the head.
After 2 years of working on the show, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic makes its debut. The show revolves around this group of characters that teach the value of friendship. It's positive and upbeat and everything good and wonderful in this world. I may have watched a few episodes. After the show's debut, users of 4chan, an online anonymous message board, started talking about the show. All that chatter sparked interest and led users to watch it. And when they did, they fell in pony love. In an interview with Channel 6 News, Steven, a self-proclaimed brony, had this to say: "We come to the show, a lot of us, because it's bright and colorful, and in a kind of world where people my age are expected to play Call of Duty or Itty Gritty or other bloody games, it's kind of nice to have something that's a bit more whimsical, a bit more colorful." Now, if you were paying attention, you might have noticed that Steven identifies as brony. That's a fan of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And at the time of the interview, he was 21. That's not at all unusual, as bronies are typically 15 to 35 years old, mostly male, mostly single, and educated. There are female fans of the show as well, and they can identify as bronies or Pegasisters. If you're wondering, well, how did the public react to all this? There were mixed feelings. Some people saw the bronies as a good thing because, well, they were challenging assumptions of the stereotypical male. Others assigned them negative labels. They saw the bronies as gay or closeted or effeminate. And when they weren't being picked on for their masculinity or sexuality, they were labeled as socially inept or having developmental or mental health disorders. Some people saw them as a danger and labeled the bronies as predators, trying to gain access to vulnerable little girls.
This isn't a community of my peers.
Does anyone else think these girls all look like men?
I think they are men. This is a kind of man. We discovered a new kind of man.
Do you think they're dangerous?
No.
Like many other fandoms, Bronies created online communities and forums to discuss their love of the show. They organized meetups and conventions, they made fan art, wrote fan fiction, created music, and other fan-made items. The Bronies were rather prolific, and some of the content they created was inappropriate or erotic or gory in nature. While it may not have been intended for a younger audience, younger fans of the show were often exposed to this content, and as a result, feel the Bronies ruined their childhood. To put this into greater perspective, I quote, "The problem with Bronies has everything to do with their usurping of a safe space for young girls and disrupting it into a hypersexual and toxic environment for these younger fans. The internet is a festering cesspool of questionable cartoon-based erotica, but pony porn has become such an unstoppable force of sexual deviancy that not even a simple Google search is safe." Keeping with the somber tone, in April 2021, a gunman entered a FedEx facility in Indianapolis and killed 9 people, injured 7 others before killing himself. It was later revealed that he had a history of behavioral problems, visited white supremacist websites, and was a member of the Brony fandom. Now, to be clear, I don't believe that being a Brony makes it likely that you will become a mass shooter, but this tragic event does highlight some of the concerns about the racist, sexist, and extremist political views of some members within the fandom. For years, some have been spreading controversial content and messaging. The community has made some attempts to moderate this content, but a lot of it can still be found on the internet. To be fair, other fandoms have been plagued with similar issues, so this isn't an issue that is unique to the Bronies. I would be remiss if I didn't elaborate on the conventions. Most conventions tend to be local, attended by a few hundred to a few thousand people, and they aren't just held in the United States. My Little Pony is a global sensation, attracting fans in the UK, Germany, Canada, and Italy, to name a few. Some of the conventions are in person, some are online, some are a blend of the two, but what they offer in common is a good time, the opportunity to make friends, donate to charities, and to meet personalities affiliated with the show and franchise. The first and largest My Little Pony convention held in the United States was BronyCon. It started in 2011 and was held annually for about 8 years until 2019. Its last convention drew over 10,000 people. That's more than the population of Aspen, Colorado, and potentially more than the number of viewers who currently watch this channel. Anyway, in summary, the Bronies are people who identify themselves as fans of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. As a fandom, they launched a national debate on gender stereotypes, faced a lot of ridicule, a lot of controversy, but perhaps most importantly of all, and I hope you'll agree, they were an interesting fandom to learn about. Share, like, and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more like it.